My name is Danny Rampling. I'm a leading DJ, music industry for over 30 years. And why am I here? I'm here for human rights, for freedom. I'm here also that over the course of the last year and 3 months, we haven't worked. It's been devastating to the hospitality, music, travel industries. And I'm here to take a stand and actually speak about these things and speak up. It's something that I think, if you feel strongly about something, then don't sit there in silence. Actually, come along to a rally and make your voice heard, because this time we're living in is a world-changing time. It's world-changing, this history that we're living in, and it's not very pleasant at all. And it's a fast-moving landscape that is going. June the 21st, for example. Oh, yes, we're going to open everything up. Nightclubs are going to open. It's all going to be normal. I remain slightly skeptical, and I'm not being negative and pessimistic from what I've experienced over the course of the last year. Now, many people in the music industry are staying silent because they think, oh, my career will be impacted. Well, you know what? There might not be a career. This is how we've got to look at things. And I think there's a lack of critical thinking going on right now. But these rallies and the freedom movement is growing exponentially worldwide, because people are tuning in to something isn't right. Now, if something isn't right in life and your intuition tells you that, then what do? Just sit there in silence and say, well, it's not right, so I'm not going to do anything about it? Or do you stand up for the freedom and future of your children? I have a 17-year-old son. I don't want my son to experience this through his lifetime, these restrictions and this so-called new normal and this great reset, this build back better bollocks. And it is bollocks. It doesn't favour us, it favours the elite. This is what this is about, and people need to actually understand that and do some research and read the book The Great Reset and see what these people are about. Right now there's a massive shift going on of consciousness between groups in society, and there's one part of society that are tuned into this and the other part are not. So and this division as well. And the music scene was built on inclusion, diversity and unity, and that's what myself as a promoter and as an artist I will uphold. And I will be vocal about that, the same way Eric Clapton is, and the same way that Ian Brown is, and a number of other people. But we are in a minority. So how long are we going to wait? And the new careers that are emerging, and then there was a lockdown. How do those young kids feel who are just breaking through and have a career ahead of them? How are they feeling? And also, how are children in care homes feeling right now? This forgotten generation of children who haven't got their birthright parents with them. How are those kids feeling right now? This threat of vaccinating children as well is atrocious. It's an atrocity. No parent should vaccinate their children with this coronavirus vaccine. It's dangerous. Children are not at risk. This is a scientific fact. So therefore, why this urgency to vaccinate the children? Pregnant women as well. Pregnant women will not smoke. They will not take recreational drugs. Caring women, they won't drink alcohol. Some of them will take this vaccine. Now, there's got to be some critical thinking and common sense called for here.
What would have been a better course of action? What should the government have done?
What should the government have done?
Yeah.
That's a very good
Anything.
question. Well, the government, this lockdown has been extended for too long. The economy has been devastated, and people will say, oh, it's selfish to talk about the economy. Well, that's all right if you're sitting at home on furlough or working from home, but if you're on universal credit and your career and business has been lost, you think differently.
There's a bit of a lockdown class, maybe.
Well, this is part of the divide. And also, the thing is, we need to work and we need to live with the virus. Yes, the cases have plummeted, they've gone down. A huge proportion of the population has been vaccinated. So why is the economy not fully open and certain key sectors? And now there's talk about this anchoring of, the 21st of June, we might need to shift the goalposts and push it forward again. Now, what if that happens? There are businesses hanging on by a shoestring.
I was going to say that's
Livelihoods.
not cautious for businesses, is it? It's not a cautious approach when it comes to
Horrendous.
people's livelihoods.
No, it's devastating. It impacts families, and there's a mental health crisis. The suicide rates have gone off the scale. You know how the stress of all this, the anxiety. These things have to be considered, and the financial crisis, the catastrophic trail of devastation financially.
Are there any then?
If you're comfortable financially, okay, you're going to. Some of you may agree. Oh, we want zero COVID. We want to continue a lockdown. But that's okay because you're comfortable. What about the people who are not? What about the people who've lost their businesses? And what about people that become insolvent? Insolvency is a very, very dark place. People take their lives who go insolvent because they cannot cope with the stress. And businesses have collapsed left, right and centre across the world, and particularly here in the UK. So what are the government doing for the economy? They're handing out billions of pounds and they're giving contracts, cronyism, to their donors and people who are part of the party. So how is that fair? That's not fair. And meanwhile, there are 4 million freelancers who fell through the cracks as small limited companies and freelance self-employed who didn't get any meaningful government support. So all these industries have been devastated.
Are there any?
Consider that, and I don't buy into this. Oh, you're selfish because you want to go to work. That's my right, and it's my right to travel, and it's my right as a free, sovereign being to travel the world freely without these restrictions. We are born free, and we will die free. We will not live through this attack upon humanity. These restrictions are becoming so totalitarian, and so many people don't see this. They will hand their freedoms away. This is what men went and landed on the beaches in Normandy. My grandfather fought at Dunkirk against tyranny, against oppression, for the freedom that we have had through our lifetime. And now all of that is being removed. Everything that's fun in life has been taken away. But they're not going to take our fun away. If you look here today, all of these people are like-minded. They are aware. They're not selfish. They care about other people, and that's why they're here. People won't agree with that, some people, but that's a fact. And that's why we're all here today.
What about a way forward then? Are there any individuals or groups or organisations that you think, from your perspective, point to a way forward, how to resist?
Well, I personally think new politics is going to emerge out of this as well. More community politics, and also the old left-right, the red-blue model, and in between is defunct. It's over. It's not relevant with what's going on. This is part of this shift that's happening, and it's going to get a lot more turbulent. We're in the middle of this storm, this turbulent storm, and human rights are being revoked and civil liberties. This is not acceptable. It's not acceptable in any way, shape or form. And giving away your freedoms, thinking you're going to get your freedom back, is delusional.
Some of my background in terms of music, I'm not a musician, but I've been involved in going to punk shows and hardcore, which is associated with the left wing. Yeah. And on the whole, they've been remarkably silent during the whole thing, even though a lot of their methods of earning money have gone away. And that's perhaps because they see themselves as left wing and they see themselves as compassionate. I know there's a punk band, hardcore band called the Cro-Mags, who put on a show in the New York Park, basically defying the lockdown. Yeah.
Good for them. And that's the thing, music is about freedom, and we all need music in our lives. We need it. It colours our life. It's a human primal need. But the thing is, this is beyond politics. You just mentioned my friends are in punk bands and they're left-leaning. This is not about politics. This is about humanity. Sure. It's beyond politics. Please understand that. It's not about left-right politics.
No, I feel what you're saying. Yeah.
It's beyond that. This is about us and the future of humanity.
So what's the next step for you? What if you can't get back to your work in June?
Well, fingers crossed we can. But I'm mindful that, if that doesn't happen, it's going to be very difficult, continuing to be difficult. Let's just please make that happen. We've got to get back to work.
Do you have any? Do you have any?
I have bookings. I'm a DJ, so I have bookings from July onwards, which is steady. You know, this has been my business for 30 plus years. That's my craft. You know, I've honed my craft. I've mentored other people. I continue to mentor other people. And the other thing is, you know, what are you going to do? I come here today and to all of these rallies because I'm doing something. I'm actually contributing by taking part and making our voices heard. We're not happy about what's going on, and this is only going to get bigger.
Do you have any last message to people who are going to see this?
Do not let them divide us. Do not let them divide us. Stay united and unite for freedom. There's divisory tactics going on. Don't let them divide your family, your co-workers, your brothers and sisters, anybody, your friends. Do not let them divide us. Rise above the division and stay friends. Respect each other's choices, whether you want to get a vaccination or whether you don't. Respect that. Respect is a two-way street, and that must be preserved as well.
Thanks so much.